Luke, some race tonight, man. 3:34, equaled your indoor PB. First time going under 3:35 outdoors. How did it feel out there?
Tough. I've been having some issues with my back lately. Only opened my season in Hengelo on Sunday. I was hoping to try and test the fitness there, but it kind of ended up being a bit of a tactical one. Nobody went with the pacemaker and a bit of a burn up, so it's hard to kind of gauge your fitness and come into this kind of race confident, because I know like Jimmy's coming in here looking for a 3:33, and I just have to trust that my training's been at that level recently to really trust myself to go with this, commit to this. And I was only chatting with my teammate George, like, it's a special talent to be able to practically make yourself get sick without anybody touching you. Like, you're able to just put yourself in the bin every race, and yeah, so I was nervous enough today getting prepared for that. But
how much of that, of getting the best out of yourself in PB, is you got to do the training, you got to do all of that, but how much of it does really come down to how hard you can push yourself?
A lot. I mean, our style of training it's very controlled, there's a reason behind everything and what we do. So like in training, we rarely push ourselves, like we never push ourselves to that kind of limit. Like the splits we hit in training are race based, but we've got that kind of little bit of extra rest and stuff like that, obviously in between reps. And so kind of like, I almost look at this as if like 3.75 by 400 off 0 seconds rest.
And so does racing become very important then to kind of open yourself up, get you used to that, and then like you're hoping that as you get more races, the times will come down over the season? Yeah,
so like I've always kind of been like that as an athlete. Like I rarely open up with a PB or a pretty quick one. Like, so I'm actually pretty like, I crossed the line, saw the exact same time as what I ran indoor. I was thinking, even if it was 34.75, I'd be jumping up and down, you know what PB feeling is like. But I wasn't sure if I should be happy or unhappy with that. But like looking at the bigger picture, like that should kind of like seal the deal with me points wise qualifying for Budapest, because I have that P standard. And like if I'm not sure about a 3:34, I'm in a good spot, and we've got further races down the line to kind of really grasp that real like world class kind of time.
And how has it been training with the on group now? Like for a good few years you were training by yourself, and now you're recently training with the lads. Like, how important has that been and beneficial to your improvement?
Oh, it's incredible. Like my teammate Robert and George and Tom all had an unbelievable, like Robert ran 3:32.1 leading the last 500 solo. Like when I'm in training, I think I'm fit, and then I do a session next to these guys, I'm thinking, Jesus, I probably wouldn't run 3:45 at the moment. Like they're doing savage, Nick, and having them kind of drag me around in training, it just kind of shows me the potential I have, and where I can really improve. Because like I would have come from a fairly anaerobic work over the last 6 years, and I'm kind of leading into more of that kind of threshold European style aerobic type of work now, to be able to kind of like compete on that world stage, how 1500s are run, be able to manage rounds and stuff. Like I got pretty opened up at European indoors, ran a 3:34, was on paper 4th fastest going into that final, and I just couldn't put it back to back, and that's just down to, in my head, fitness. So there wasn't really anything tactically that I needed to work on. It was just being fit enough to be able to compete with these guys every time I step on the line. So these guys are pushing me, like even learning how to run behind someone. Like anytime if I'm training by myself, running just in a line, you have to almost like find your feet. Jesus, I don't know. I'm not used to, in training, I'm just running by myself the whole time. And then you get into a race, you don't know what to do when everybody's kind of like 1 foot next to each other and stuff. So I'm getting a lot more comfortable with that. And then Hengelo again, last Sunday was a really good like kind of like racing experience. Kind of just everybody's like 15 guys coming up to the bell together. You can't really replicate that in training at all. And that just is going to push me forward in championship heats and stuff like that. And so
when you visualise yourself, the best Luke McCann out there, like over the coming years and everything, how fast do you think, or how fast would you like to run the 15?
I mean, you always want to try to be the best in the world. Like that's something that, in my eyes, I always wanted to be the best in Ireland. I've had the national record kind of in my head. Even 4 or 5 years ago, I thought that's something that I'd be happy to end my career with. That 3:33.5 by Ray Flynn. Obviously, I kind of, in my head, I knew that it was going down this year, with how me and Andrew Koshkin have been progressing all the way kind of through the years. I'm kind of not yet getting to beat him yet, but I think every time we kind of step on the line together, we're always pretty close. And if he's kind of at that level now, like he just ran a 3:33 in Big Gosh. if I can just be close enough, and I think we're going to just keep dropping that national record. That's in my head. I would like to kind of drop that to a 330, 331 kind of range, and that's the kind of fucking level that's the level we have to get to make that world final. So
brilliant, don't worry about it, man. That's the Irish slang there. Keely Hutchinson too. No problem there, throwing the F-bombs down. Luke, awesome race, man. And I must say, man, thank you so much for all this kit. Absolutely sorting me out.
This is the on-track night, so you got to get yourself out.
Fact, man. Hey, Luke, best luck with the rest of the season, man.
Thanks very much.